In the 1940s, premature babies were put into incubators to help them breathe. They became blind and no one could figure out why. Dr. Arnold Patz of Johns Hopkins University discovered that the oxygen toxicity was the culprit. This discovery impacted people for the rest of time. Arnold Patz's triumph made sure that no future children were put at risk. The tragedy that it left thousands of babies blind at the hands of retinopathy of prematurity. During development, in the central part of the eye, the blood vessels start to grow outwards. This is completed a few weeks before delivery. This process never gets complete with premature babies. When placed in incubators, if too much oxygen is given, then the blood vessels will cease to grow in the eye. When the oxygen is taken away, the blood vessels begin rapidly forming to make up for the loss. If the blood vessels grow abnormally, then ROP will appear. The abnormal blood vessels can grow from the plane of the retina and may bleed inside the eye. When the irregular vessels and blood gets absorbed back into the eye, it may create band-like membranes which pull the retina up, causing the retina to detach from the eye. The International Classification of Retinopathy of Prematurity is used for describing the three zones where ROP can be located and the five different stages of severity. This is important to know to specify the medication and treatment someone has. Zone 1 is the posterior area of the retina. Zone 2 is the annulus shaped by Zone 1. Zone 3 is a temporary crescent of the retina. Stage 1 is a demarcation line between the vascular and avascular retina. Stage 2 is a ridge. The demarcation line grows popcorn vessels and forms a ridge above the retina. Stage 3 is a ridge with an extraretinal fibrovascular proliferation. Extraretinal fibrovascular tissue arises towards the vitreous. Stage 4 is a partially detached retina, and Stage 5 is a total detached retina. While the ROP epidemic in North America stopped quite a long time ago, moderately developed countries are still being affected. In Latin America and former socialist economies of Eastern Europe, ROP is still a leading cause of blindness. This has been called the third epidemic. These countries don't have the financial means for the advanced technologies for treatment. Without this, the babies will inevitably become blind. There have been many treatments to ROP, some of them with varying success. The most common of them being peripheral retinal ablation, which means destroying the avascular retina. They use a laser photocoagulation and cryotherapy. The most preferred of the two is the laser, only because of the swelling and inflammation caused from the cryotherapy. Scleral buckling is also considered for very severe states of ROP. They place a band around the sclera, or the white part of the eye, forcing the wall of the eye back into contact, causing the retina to reattach. So, Debbie, were there any procedures or medications given/done to help the disease?
I don't know of any. I was born in 1953, and that was just at the end of the time when they were learning what caused ROP. I was born when my mother was 26 weeks pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born at 6.5 months, and I weighed less than 3 pounds, and I was in an incubator then for 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't really know. Well, they knew, but they didn't really have a lot of choices in how they kept me alive because they knew, at least scientifically they knew, but apparently, at least here at the hospital where I was born, I was um, one of the last babies that they treated in that group of babies born in the early 40s through the mid 50s.